Hi, I'm Paulina Bello, and I'm here today to talk to you about H.E.N, what it is, and why it's so important in this day and age, especially for Christians, homeschooling Christians, those who are entrepreneurial minded. And H.E.N, it stands for the Homeschool Entrepreneurial Network. And why I founded it was because I'm seeing a resurgence and a rise in the entrepreneurial spirit amongst homeschoolers, especially as they're going through their studies. They're able to explore the world around them, explore their gifts, their talents, versus in high school. I went to a public school, so I'm well acquainted with how it was, how you're just like constantly deadlines, like doing the assignments your teacher, like what your teacher tells you to do versus what you feel God leading you to. Or it's hard to have time to explore those things because you're so busy running from soccer practice back to school or going to school functions that it's not really about you or what you want to do. It's all this, it's everyone else's agenda. So homeschoolers have this unique ability where they can get that entrepreneurial bug, if you will, sooner than maybe the average high schooler. And that's not true for all high schoolers, but many. Or even my children who are not even in high school are already super excited about what can I do to make money? How can I own my own business? Instead of who can I work for, which is typically the mindset. When can I get a job? When I turned 16, I was like, whoa, I have a car. I can go get a job. I can go work for someone and make money. I'm this trend that's happening amongst homeschoolers. It's not who can I work for? It's how can I make money? What can I do to earn money? And this actually is an idea that didn't start with the homeschoolers. It started hundreds, thousands of years ago. It was actually in the 1800s, 90% of people owned their own business, and 50% of those were farmers. And back then, farming was a very decent way to earn a living. You could live very modestly, very comfortably if you were a good farmer. And that was kind of the life back then, was you grow your own potatoes and the surplus you sell and save some for next winter. And then also when you're using your horses, you breed your horses and you sell your horses, and all these things were constantly streams of income flowing in throughout the year as different crops or different animals were ready to be sold, this and that. And then of course there was people who made wagons or whatnot. Well, once we hit the 1900s, it was right around World War II, the numbers dropped to like 60%. And then by 1960, it was about 20%. And now today, only about 10% of people own their own business. Isn't that crazy? And of the 10% that own their own business, only about 4% are large enough or successful enough, whichever it would be, that they are able to hire people. So most people are just, of the 10%, most of them, the majority of them are just singlepreneurs, as you might have heard the term, just people who are on their own, making money here and there with their own businesses. Maybe it's not enough to sustain, maybe it's just a little on the side, but they have their own business. So this is what H.E.N's about. H.E.N is, for two reasons, I think, so important. One, like I said, this is just a great time to rekindle this entrepreneurial spirit that's already, the spirit that's already kind of waving across the waters of the homeschool movement. It's already there. Let's just kindle it and get it going. But also because I look around at the culture of the people who own, large businesses and corporations, and the culture is not one that honors God, honors our Lord Jesus Christ as Savior. Maybe not always with integrity or morality. And so this is a time when we can rise up and make businesses be a great thing, that we can become, as Christians in the workforce, we can become leaders. We can become the new generation of leaders and people who are going to change the world. And I think that's a great thing. And then also, I personally have a strong heart for owning your own business. There was, when we were kind of newly married, just maybe in our 5th or 6th year of marriage, my husband and I, Derek, we had in our hearts this strong wanting to be home together as a family, wanting to let the Lord lead our family. Like if we feel like we should do this or go here or do this, there's always that fear of, well, where would we get our next job? How are we going to make money? If we leave this job, we have to find a new job. Versus designing a business that can follow you across the country, no matter where you live or wherever the Lord calls you, even if it's overseas. Or if you just have a day where you want to go up north with a family, you don't have to ask for 2 weeks off. You don't have to ask for the time off. You can just let you can just let the pulse of your family lead you and decide what you want to do, and you decide your days off. And it was always such a hassle. Like, we were having such a wonderful vacation. Wouldn't it be great to just stay for 2 or 3 more days? Like, we have the money, let's just do it. But work says no. And so we have to come home. You can't do what the family decides, what the family needs to do, because it's about what work says. Versus owning your own business, you can set up your business to have that kind of freedom. So it's an incredible thing. I really think that anyone who has even desire to own their own business should start now. We didn't start off right at the bat able to have our own business to provide for all of our needs, but that was always our dream and our goal, our fervent prayer that God would give us a business that would sustain our income. I mean, I even have like an old Instagram picture, and we're holding up the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, and my husband and I, and we're just saying, we're getting there, we're halfway there, we're, another 50% double, and we can quit our job. And it just felt like such a huge pipe dream. And then it happened, and it was just like, we're doing it. And it was scary sometimes. And there was like 2 months where we couldn't pay the mortgage payment, but you know what? It worked out. God more than provided back for it. And even though it was a little bit scary in the beginning, and we were no longer on this reliable income stream, we were relying on basically completely the Lord. Like, what a great place to be, though, by the way. And God showed up and showed abundantly. He took care of us. He took care of the mortgage. He took care of the bills. He took care of us more than we had ever been taken care of in a job by an employer. And for the first time, we were living. My husband loved it. He absolutely came alive. Like, this is just like what he was meant to do, what we're meant to do. And what really spurred it was, we were at a conference and someone said, most people, they go to work their whole life at a job they don't like, for an employer they don't like, working with people they don't really like, with a commute they don't like, for a salary they don't like. So at the end of their life, when they're almost dead, they can finally retire and do what they like to do. And we just looked at each other, and I said, Derek, we have just got to make this work. Like, we've got to do this. He's like, yeah. And 2 weeks later, he quit his job. Like, he just came home and he's like, yeah, I quit. I was like, oh, okay, we'll make this work. And I've got some YouTube videos. There's one where I wrote, you can look back at the title, but it said, my husband quit his job. And you can watch that video. That was right after he quit. So we went through that whole thing, and now we're at the place where we want to share this with the world. And so that's my desire, is to teach people who are ready to learn, eager to learn, through the H.E.N, the Homeschool Entrepreneurial Network. We're going to teach you how to create a business that is not a business that you become a slave to. Like, we don't want to make you another business where you become, it's a job. Like, you're at a job, you have to show up to work. If you don't, the employees are wondering where you're at, and you're bound to the business, and it can't run itself without you, and no one can do what you do as well. No, like, that's not the way to design a life of freedom. So there's a way to operate a business, a way to grow your business, to set it up to make it be a blessing to you and make it be something that is just awesome. So that's what this is all about. This is about teaching and growing this entrepreneurial spirit that I see simmering across the waters, growing that spirit together, and together as a network, growing together, using each other's strengths, creating this ironclad force of people that you have as support to work together, to bounce ideas off of each other, to come here to this YouTube channel and to be encouraged, inspired, and learn, and then go out in the world and make huge differences, huge changes, to be God's hands and his feet in the business marketplace. So this is the mission and the goal of H.E.N. And I'm super excited that you stopped by and you watched this video and you came to share and join in this journey. So I would love it if you'd post in the comments below any questions you have, or anything that might inspire me to make some more videos or teaching points as I go through this process too, teaching and training and teaching what we've learned and how we've been able to develop our business that we can totally live off of, that God has blessed and provided for. And so that's what I want to teach, is how you can be a blessing to your own family, to yourself, how God can bless you, bless your family, and also bless other people, that your business can be a blessing, not a curse, not a place of drudgery that people hate to go to or work for, but a business that people feel blessed and inspired and refreshed and encouraged as they work for you or work alongside you as contractors. And so that's what we're going to teach. It's It's all about freedom, about letting God lead, about letting God help you design an amazing business that will bless you and possibly generations to come. I mean, who knows? Maybe your children and your children's children, if the Lord should tarry, will continue in your business endeavors. So again, leave some comments if you think of anything, and I will definitely be reading and responding. And I will see you next week for our next H.E.N video.